I don't wanna be in your race. I got my own way, doing my own thing. I don't wanna get in your face. Got nothing to prove to you, and I got so much to do.
Horsemen, I have a question for you. Is the Bronco world and the Jeep world really so different? Bear with me. Since the return of the legend, the Ford Bronco, it seems like heaps of cool have been dumped onto this fire that has been burning in the background for a few years now. But now if you have been anywhere on the internet, you've probably been exposed to the toxic back and forth between Broncos and Jeeps, and we fed into it a little bit, but it's gotten pretty real, pretty wild out there, folks. Now, with that said, those of you guys that have been around the channel know that our business, Wild Horses 4x4, has been doing nothing but early Broncos for over 30 plus years. I grew up in the back seat of a Bronco. It's really the only off-road vehicle that I know. So, what's the deal with the Jeep thing? Is it really that much different from the Bronco thing? I know what it means to be a Bronco guy, but that brings us to the question of today's video. What does it mean to be a Jeeper? And I'm not just talking about the sticker flashing 28-inch wheel, Amazon accessorized soccer mom vehicle. No, I want to know what it really takes to be a Jeeper. And who better to help me answer that question than a group of brothers who have grown up in the back seat of Jeeps. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in and let's meet the Peck Brothers.
We're the Peck Brothers. We've been Jeeping our whole lives, and now we've turned it into our lifestyle.
I'm Brady.
I'm Cayleb. And I'm Alex. We've been getting pretty serious in the YouTube game, spending all the money that we don't have trying to build the best videos for our followers.
Although we've been doing the YouTube thing for about a year, this has gone on for a long time since we were little kids. We were pretty much raised in the backseat of a Jeep. Our dad's done it, we're fourth generation Jeepers, and we don't plan to stop anytime soon. The best part about the whole situation is we get to do it together as a family.
We're gonna get nitty gritty into the details here, but before we do that, we're gonna throw Mitch to the wolves.
When Cayleb talks about getting thrown to the wolves, he's referring to the all-out war we had between my more or less stock Bronco and Cayleb's mega-built 6.0 LS swapped 43-inch tire rock crawler Jeep. We filmed a whole video pitching these two vehicles head to head, so after this video is over, make sure to give that video a watch and a thumbs up. While the competition was real, it was still an absolute blast. We beat these vehicles up trying to reach the throne of ultimate off-road vehicle, and surprisingly, by the end of it, nobody broke down. And even more surprisingly, nobody ran out of fuel. Cayleb. While it was all fun and games, there was still that question lingering in the back of my head. What does it mean to be a Jeeper?
Alrighty folks, so that is just a small snippet of the introduction to this Jeep lifestyle that the Peck Bros have given me. They're making a separate video on their channel, so make sure you check it out. It's got a lot of the fun aspects of what goes into this thing, but we've still got this question to answer. What does it mean to be a Jeeper? And so we're gonna start with the Jeep, the vehicle. So Cayleb, you've got your rig behind us. Give us a little bit of what's gone into this thing. You got freaking dualies on it right now. You know, what are you doing with this thing? What's it all about?
Well, the dualies are actually like kind of an add-on. It started out without the dualies. The dualies were more just to see how much it would tow, how we could get it to hook up, and actually to see if we could just do the dualies. They're 43-inch tire dualies. I haven't seen one with 43s yet. So
I haven't. I have now, actually.
But yeah, no, this started out as just a stock Jeep. It's a 1998 Jeep TJ, and I think I picked it up for like $1,000 or something like that, blown motor.
Put a little more into it at this point, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, it was green when we got it, but put an LS60 in it, 4L80 transmission, Atlas transfer case. They're Super Duty axles, custom suspension, actually moto-built 4-link kit, but a lot of the suspension's custom as well. 14-inch Radflow coilovers and 43-inch Super Swamper SXs, stickies, and 17-inch race line bead logs.
Okay, so that's the gist of the build. Obviously, there's so much more time and effort that goes into this thing. What would you say, for the people watching, makes a Jeep a Jeep? Obviously there's a little bit of Jeep left. It's got the nameplate, you know, but what can people who are expecting to get into this thing expect to do with their vehicles? Should they expect to do? What are upgrades they need to think about? Basics.
I think that the biggest thing, like with Jeeps, for me personally, is it took me 2 years to build this thing, and all of the, you know, ideas and drawings and everything that it took out of my mind, put onto, you know, paper and then into reality. You know, the nights spent by myself grinding, welding, you know, till 2 in the morning, and just like, you know, you spend a lot of time alone just doing your own kind of a thing, and it kind of bonds you with your Jeep, you know, and you can get, you know, you can love your Jeep when you buy it, but man, when you build it, it's like your kid, it's like your
100%.
friend, it's like, I mean, the bond is so strong. And I think, like, you know, regardless of if your Jeep's got 43s or if it's got 35s or big motor, it doesn't matter. I think it's the bond that you have with your Jeep through the time that you spent building it or fixing it or whatever it is that makes it a Jeep and makes you a Jeeper.
Interesting. Sounds very similar, folks, to what makes you a Bronco guy. But we're gonna get into that. We got a few more things to address here. So let's get into those. Okay, so we've covered the rig, the infamous Jeep. But Brady, let's talk lifestyle. What does it look like to be a Jeeper when it comes to the lifestyle?
That's a good question. It's kind of hard when you're raised in it, but for somebody to call themselves a Jeeper, I would say, 1, you gotta have a Jeep, and 2, you gotta freaking love it. Yeah. You gotta love that stupid Jeep. You gotta love working on it. You gotta love upgrading it. You've gotta love driving it. You gotta love hauling it. You gotta love spending money on it. You gotta think about it all day long, usually all night long. You gotta lose sleep over it. You gotta buy the right tools to use it and fix it. You can do a whole lot of complaining, but nobody's gonna listen.
Well, I think what you said there, kind of right at the beginning, is it sounds like it's a family affair, you know, if you do it right. You guys were obviously raised in this whole thing. Now you guys are older and you're doing a lot of the work yourselves. You're spending the late nights, the blood, sweat, and tears, really getting dumped into these things. Have you always had the appreciation for what it meant to be a Jeeper and to be living the lifestyle and all of that before you guys started wrenching, or what kind of turned that page for you guys where it was like, it became real?
That's a good question as well. I think way back in the day, back when we were in the back seat of our dad's Jeep, we'd have a group of 25 rigs out on the trail. And it was just, I mean, everybody get out, they'd get their cameras and they'd film it because they wanted to relive that memory again, you know? And, you know, as time's gone on, we've noticed there's people out there that, you know, say they don't have much family, they move out of state, they move across the country, they come to this country, a lot of them will buy a rig, buy a Jeep, and then just by themselves go out wheeling on a big weekend, just hoping to meet up with some new guys and make friends. You know, they break down, all those guys are gonna come at their rescue and help them out, give them the spare parts that they have, the tools that they bring, and everybody's just buddies. So, I mean, as you grow up in that community, especially just as us as, you know, being together in family, you get to see like people got your back. You know, this is we're all in this together. It's a great sport in that aspect.
Yeah, it sounds again very similar to what it means to own a Bronco, but you touched on it, and it's the third point we're going to talk about today, and it's that community. So without further ado, let's kind of dive into that part of it. Okay, folks, community. The big crazy word that I think is most often used to describe the Bronco world. And Alex, does that exist in the Jeep world? Is there this community, you know, that's there for each other you can rely on? Like, what is being in the Jeep community look like?
You know, you describing the Bronco community, it's identical to the Jeep community. People are always there to help. Everybody's willing to share their knowledge. Everybody's willing to get you further down the trail, really. I've noticed that, you know, every time you go wheeling, you break something, you need a tool, people are just there to help. Everybody's out there to have fun. Everybody's willing to, you know, do whatever they got to do to keep you wheeling, and that's the best part about being a Jeeper.
So, and I think we have to touch on, because if we don't, the comments will, the fact that there's good and bad people in both communities, and I don't think it's vehicle specific, but you're saying, and I trust what you're saying, is that overall, the Jeep community is there for each other, just like the Bronco community, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, talking about community. Obviously you guys have the Jeep wave. Some people will, you know, you need a sticker to be a Jeep, whatever. You know, there's different things. Is there, would you say, an initiation at all, you know, that people wondering need to know about? Are the things that only Jeep people know?
I think you get on like the Facebook pages and stuff, I see people complaining, man, I waved at somebody, they didn't wave back. Am I a Jeeper, you know? And it's like, only the newbies kind of are worried about that. I think to be a real Jeeper and to know what the lifestyle's about, you've got to break your rig on the trail and not have the right parts or the tools to fix it. But you figure it out, you've got your buddies that help you, but after that, you kind of understand the lifestyle, the camaraderie of everybody helping you fix it, and you make stuff work. If you don't have the right tool, you make it work, you know? Yeah, so that's kind of the initiation into the real Jeep world of being a real Jeeper.
Here's what I'm hearing, Peck Brothers and audience, okay? I'm coming to a conclusion, okay, is that you've got the Jeep world, you've got the Bronco world, and they pretty much overlap, guys. I know that, again, we talked about it in the intro of this video, is there's this ginormous war going on online, you know, but I've been helped by Jeep guys, I've been helped by Toyota guys, very drunk Toyota guys.
Hold my beer, watch what I can do.
Lubricate the bead.
Don't do this at home. Alcohol is a bad thing.
but they came through, because I think at the end of the day, it's an off-road culture. And at the end of the day, we all really know who the real enemy is, and it's the side-by-sides. So,
I'm glad you touched on that, because Jeeps are over here, Broncos are here, but when there's a side-by-side, we're together. We're just against them.
Yeah, no, there you guys have it. I'm interested to see what you guys think, because obviously the Wild Horses audience, you guys are more or less Bronco specific. I know we've got a few Jeep guys in here. Appreciate you guys being here. We're not trying to exclude you. I know we do the little side jabs every now and again, but we're glad you're here. We hope that you guys found some of this insightful, interesting. You know, a kid who's grown up in the Bronco world, diving in with some kids who have grown up in the Jeep world, and seeing what we can do together. And again, got more videos coming in the future. The Peck Brothers are making their own thing. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be awesome, and I'm excited for you guys to check all of that out.
So in conclusion of this video, we wanted to make sure you guys knew that if you see us broke down on the trail, make sure and give us the Jeep wave and just keep driving fast.
Take a picture, post it.
Chances are good, if you're wheeling around the Moab Sand Hollow area, you'll see us broke down somewhere.
And that is mostly because we drive Jeeps, but we're a little bit partial to the way they look, because that's kind of what we were raised with. We think you Bronco guys really have it made in a lot of ways, but we're Jeep guys.
Yeah, and again, after exploring the similarities, I think that we're gonna get along just fine.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, baby, where can they find you guys?
You can find us on YouTube, Peck Brothers Off-Road, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just search Peck Brothers. You'll see the logo. That's what it looks like. That's us.
Yeah, the account that's Little Peck Brothers, that's not them.
No.
So just don't click on it.
We are little, just not that page.
Well, sweet. Well, we appreciate the time, guys. Make sure you guys check them out. Check out the video. Stay tuned for more. And with all of that being said, we'll see you out there on the trail.